Middle School in Olathe, and I also have the wonderful pleasure of being the chair of this event this weekend. You are sitting in the very same place as the very first John Philip Sousa concert, which was first held 21 years ago on February 1st, 2003. Here at the Lead Center, and our guest conductors were Robert E. Foster and Victor Sisk. At that time, we had approximately 175 auditions overall for the spots that were available in our red and blue band. Today, we have an average of 325 to 400 auditions for those spots. And students, I'm so excited because I would say you have not taken a blip, not missed a beat at all from COVID. Your judges who listened to your auditions commented how the quality was so high and how proud they were of all of you for all the hard work you've put in through the last few years of very strange education and music. So congratulations to all of you for your hard work and your perseverance. We are proud of you. Absolutely. Those auditions are currently vying for our 90 to 100 spots, give or take a little, in each of our red and blue bands each year. We deeply appreciate the vision of our co-founders, Robert E. Foster from the University of Kansas and Ed Colson, who's a retired band director from Olathe, along with our first executive board, who had the opportunity to create this wonderful legacy that now continues on with students in 6th through 9th grade in the state of Kansas. At this time, Kansas boasts the largest Sousa organization in the nation. We're the only one that has 2 bands of this size, and that meets every single year. This year we have lots of siblings represented in both bands, as we often do, and we also have 30% of our current members in red and blue are multi-year participants, which means they are participating for their 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th year. A round of applause for those students. Congratulations. Family, friends, you are in for a wonderful musical treat this afternoon. These are amazing students, amazing human beings, and amazing musicians. We are excited to share their music with you. We're proud of their diligence and their dedication to prepare for their performance and their concert for you today. And we hope that your students have enjoyed their time here, their time with their conductors, and have made some new friends that I'm sure will cross paths again sometime in their musical career. It's my honor to present to you the 2023 Kansas John Philip Sousa Red Band under the direction of Mrs. Johanna Cox. And to introduce their conductor is Mr. Ben Strain.
Hi everybody, I'm Ben Strain, Director of Bands at Blue Valley Middle School, and it's an honor to serve on the Sousa board and even more to introduce our next conductor. When asked to introduce Miss Johanna Cox, I did the usual and perused the internet to look for biographies, information, and other tidbits I could use for her introduction. But you have most of that in your program. So I did what, as a father of my teenage daughter and son, I perused the internet and social media. Learned that from them. I've come to learn that if you want to get a true sense of what others think, you may want to read the comments section of social media posts. So I stumbled upon an older post from a few years ago congratulating Mrs. Cox on yet another one of her teaching awards, and here were some of the comments. Well deserved. Thank you, Mrs. Cox, for bringing music to life and inspiring students. Great selection. Lawrence Public is fortunate to have your teaching and leadership. Congratulations. Congratulations, you're an inspiration. And my favorite, from a responder tagging one of her friends, hey, wasn't this your teacher 30 years ago? It's clear that Mrs. Cox has made such an impact here in the community here in Lawrence and in the state of Kansas, and I know she has with these students here this afternoon. Mrs. Cox, thank you for all you've done for music and for music education. Would you please welcome Mrs. Johanna Cox?
Test, test, oh yes, okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2023 Kansas John Philip Sousa Band event here at the Lead Center of Kansas. The two bands performing this afternoon have been through a rigorous audition process and have been together for a mere 6 hours of rehearsal. The Red Band's opening number was Kat Nishmashira's Into the Blue, which was inspired by the experience of flying above the clouds in a blue sky towards a new destination. Our second selection, Springtime Ride, is also music about motion and movement. Picture a group of young people riding bikes, maybe not this afternoon, but throughout their neighborhood when the weather finally warms up enough to do so. Dr. Erica writes, I wanted to capture the freedom and the optimism that riding my bike gave me as my first independent mode of transportation as a kid. This is Springtime Ride.
To introduce our next conductor for the next piece for the Red Band, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Paul Aubrey, who's the band director at Prairie Star Middle School in the Blue Valley School District. He is a very integral member of our executive board, and he's been hugely helpful in the creation of our new website and the audition process and so many things over the years of making Sousa successful. He's going to be conducting Semper Fidelis, which is a John Philip Sousa march, and happens to be the audition music, a portion of it, was the audition music for all of our Sousa students for this year. The Red Band will be performing that march in its entirety. Semper Fidelis, Semper Fi for short, meaning always faithful, is the motto of the United States Marines, and Semper Fidelis is the official march of the United States Marines. Please enjoy Semper Fidelis, conducted by Paul Aubrey.
With the exception of the March King, John Philip Sousa, I have chosen a program of all women composers, and Anne McGinty is among the most prolific. All the Pretty Little Horses is an American folk lullaby in a minor mode. This arrangement is a wonderful opportunity to play in a singing and musical rich style. Here are the first two lines of this gentle, optimistic folk song. Hush-a-bye, don't you cry. Go to sleepy, little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses.
last piece, I'd like to present Mrs. Cox with a small token of our appreciation from the Sousa board as our thank you to for you conducting this year. It simply says conductor. Sousa Band. Thank you, Mrs. Cox.
Good afternoon. My name is Megan Holter, and I teach at Indian Woods Middle School in the Shawnee Mission School District. Today, I will be recognizing our students who are multi-year participants. Earlier today, these students were awarded a certificate recognizing their 2 years in this band. If you are a 2-year participant in the red band, would you please stand and be recognized at this time?
final number for the Red Band is The Devil's Workshop by Dr. Kimberly Arthur. This piece is based on two harmonic components, tritones, which in ancient times were referred to as the devil's interval, and secondly, chromatic scales, which were often thought of as evil sounds. This combined with the goofy character of this music and the mischievous percussion sounds may suggest a playful little devil pottering around in his workshop on a Saturday afternoon. The Devil's Workshop.